wears many faces in Westeros, some draped in armor, others cloaked in shadows, but a rare few wear nothing but wit and win all the same. Welcome to Secrets of the Realm, where the game is never just about thrones, but the minds that outmaneuver them. And in our second tale, we meet the matriarch of manipulation, Olenna Tyrell, grandmother, schemer, queenmaker. She didn't fight the war. She made sure the right people lost it. They called her the Queen of Thorns. Not for what she wore, but for the words she wielded sharp, swift, and soaked in poison. Olenna Tyrell, matriarch of House Tyrell, a woman carved from steel and wit, cloaked in lace and lilies. She never swung a sword. She didn't need to. In a realm where dragons scorched skies and kings bathed in blood, Olenna ruled not with fire or steel, but with strategy. She moved through the courts like a whisper in a storm, soft in sound, but sharper than any blade. In a world ruled by men and monsters, she carved her power through whispers, gold, and roses hiding knives. Her family sigil was a golden rose, but beneath its bloom was the thorn, always ready, always watching. She was once promised to a Targaryen, a union of fire and politics, prestige and peril. But Olenna, even in youth, saw the cracks beneath the crown. She understood the true nature of power. It wasn't in birthright. It wasn't in dragons or ancient names. It was in knowing the game was rigged and cheating better than the rest. Where others played for legacy, Olenna played for leverage. She turned tradition into tactics. She took the rules written by men and bent them to her will. While lords schemed for glory and knights bled for banners, she dealt in truths, secrets, and silences. She saw through the illusions of nobility and turned courtly grace into battlefield cunning. Her pride was Marjorie, her rose, beautiful, poised, sweet-smiled, raised not just to marry kings, but to mold them, to outmaneuver them, to survive them. Behind Marjorie's bloom stood the thorn, guiding, guarding, and when needed, gutting. Olenna's power lay not in public declarations, but in the quiet way she dismantled threats with a glance, a quip, a truth too raw to ignore. She spoke like silk laced with venom, her words dressed in civility, her meaning as clear as a blade. She challenged Tywin Lannister, the Lion of the Rock, not with soldiers, but with subtlety. When gold met legacy, Olenna gave no ground. She danced around the lion with her chin held high, and a smirk that cut deeper than steel. Then came the moment that made her a legend. A wedding, a poisoned cup, a boy king bloated with cruelty, gasping for air, frothing at the mouth, a crown slipping from a hand that never deserved it. And Olenna? She barely raised a brow. No rage, no drama, just quiet calculation, just conviction. He was a monster, and monsters don't make good kings. Not a confession, a judgment. The kind only a woman like Olenna could deliver, measured not in guilt, but in justice. She'd seen what unchecked power could become. She knew too well what innocence cost in Westeros. She stood unflinching before lions. Cersei threatened. Olenna smirked. Even in death, Olenna chose the terms. She drank the poison but owned the moment. Not with fear, but with truth. Tell Cersei, I want her to know it was me. And with those words, she carved her name into legend. A whisper louder than any war cry. A truth sharper than any dagger. She never wore a crown, never sat the throne. Yet no queen in Westeros held more power, with fewer pieces on the board. She played the Game of Thrones not with fire or fury, but with a lifetime of observation, a mind honed by survival, and a will unbent by the weight of men's ambitions. Olenna Tyrell played with roses in one hand and daggers in the other, each move calculated, each silence intentional. She didn't raise armies, she raised kings. She didn't fight battles, she won wars with her tongue, because sometimes power doesn't roar, it whispers, it smiles sweetly at your side. It wears a gown stitched with secrets and hides the sharpest thorns beneath its petals. Olenna Tyrell was never just a lady of the Reach. She was its mind, its blade, its queen in every way that mattered. And when history is written, it won't be the crown that's remembered. It'll be the woman who never needed one. She never wore a crown, yet bent kings to her will. She fought no battles, but left a trail of victories behind velvet curtains and poisoned goblets. Olenna Tyrell didn't seek the throne. She simply outlived those who did. But in the Game of Thrones, even the sharpest thorn can fall when the garden burns. And many secrets still lie beneath the crown. Join us next time as Secrets of the Realm continues